Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Jenny Halpin, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is Flying Officer Henry Wertheimer. As always, we welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial and students on behalf of Kennedy Baptist College visiting from Murdoch, Western Australia. Now, if you are able, could I please invite you to stand and join in singing the national anthem. Students and those who require a seat, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Private Vincent Kelly. Vincent was born in Rockhampton, Queensland on the 31st of July, 1921, to Sydney and Lillian Kelly. He had a twin brother, Charles, as well as a sister, Kathleen, and another brother. His father had served in France with the 1st AIF in the First World War. The family continued to live in Rockhampton, but apart from that, little is known about Vincent Kelly's early life. His formal education stopped after primary school. By 1941, he was working as a labourer and living in the home with his family. At the outbreak of the war in September 1939, Vincent was 18. 2 years later, as Australia's armed forces were rapidly expanding, he was called upon to register for service with the Citizen Military Forces. He did so in Rockhampton on the 25th of November 1941. Private Kelly was now liable for military service across Australia and parts of the Southwest Pacific area. However, it was another 6 months before he was officially taken on strength at the General Details Depot in Brisbane. On the 28th of May 1942, Kelly joined the 29th Infantry Training Battalion, which was stationed in Gondawindi along the New South Wales-Queensland border. Few details are known about his time with the unit, but he would have been working through basic infantry training syllabus. Its aim was for men to become accustomed to army life while also getting them into shape and teaching them basic weaponry and tactical skills. After several weeks of basic training, he went absent without leave for 6 days. He was arrested by local military police and returned to his unit. As punishment, Private Kelly was fined and put under close arrest for 4 days. In October 1942, Kelly was transferred to the 4th Australian Infantry Training Battalion to continue his training. The battalion was stationed at Glen Innes, New South Wales, but tragedy would strike the unit less than 3 months later. On the 1st of January 1943, men of the 4th Infantry Training Battalion were just getting back into their training routine after the holiday season. This included a training session in which the members crossed the Beardy River. The river crossing was a necessary skill for jungle warfare. When a soldier crosses a river, he has the extra weight of his uniform, boots, rifle, and other equipment to deal with. He cannot allow his rifle to get wet. To make matters worse, on this day, the Beardy River was flooded and moving quickly. Private Kelly attempted to cross the Beardy River with all of his equipment, but he slipped into deep water and struggled to keep above the surface. Lance Corporal Maurice Barlow was a strong swimmer and had already crossed the river successfully, but he jumped back in when he saw his friend going under. When Barlow got to Kelly, the drowning soldier seized his comrade in desperation, and the two disappeared under the water, never to resurface. Private Josie attempted a rescue, but was unable to reach them. A third soldier, Private Woolgar, also drowned in the crossing. Several other men from the unit were swept away in the strong currents, but were saved. Vincent Kelly's body was found that evening by police and army divers. He still had his heavy equipment strapped to him. He was 21 years old. A court of inquiry deemed the death to be accidental. A funeral for Vincent Kelly and Maurice Barlow was held 2 days later at the local Catholic church. The two soldiers were laid to rest beside one another in the Glen Innes War Cemetery. The ceremony was too far away for the Kelly family to be able to attend the funeral. The death shook the family. For several years, they commemorated the anniversary of Vincent's passing with messages published in their local newspaper. On the 4th anniversary, his twin brother Charles wrote, "In loving memory of my dear brother, a beautiful life came to an end. He died as he lived, everyone's friend. Always sincere in heart and mind, a beautiful memory to leave behind." Vincent's name is listed on the Roll of Honour to my left, among almost 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. A photograph of his headstone is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private Vincent Kelly, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of our director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.